So I am overwhelmed and for inviting me over here for this TEDx event. All the dignitaries over here, all my fellow speakers, the organizers and the wonderful community that is over here. Today we have heard a lot about climate change and mental health. I would like to introduce myself and then I'll straight away get to the point. And my points will be a tad bit different from what my fellow speakers have given because they have given some fantastic outputs and inputs on the same. So myself, Dr. Shubham Mahajan, I'm a serial entrepreneur and I like to crack various entrance exams, and that is how I have entered this entrepreneurship sector initially around. And then it just got to me that entrepreneurship is something that I want to do. So basically I come from a mediocre background where my father was into defense, my mother was working into banks, and I had two siblings who were doing very good in their academics. Now when this happens, there's a certain amount of pressure on you to perform well. You're the youngest kid is going to take science, is going to do good in SSC, and that is what exactly I did. I scored a 95 plus in my SSC, and then what did I do? I took science. And when I took science, what did I do next? I prepared for JEE. I wanted to get into IITs. And next, I did get into a very good college. I got into VJTI, which is one of the topmost engineering colleges in the country. Now, there's where my story began, because my first year went very well. I liked the academics. Yeah, it was a tectonic shift from what I had, initially experienced in my life. But the real storm came in when I, went into my second year. And subjects like engineering drawing, engineering mechanics, and all those horrible subjects came in front of me. And then I came to know that whatever I had done till now does not actually translates into, or is in alignment with what I'd want to do in future. Or maybe I'm not made for this. That is a point where I was at the lowest in my life. I've never been so low. Because now you're studying in a good college and that has been a dream of your family. And now I have to make the hard phone call at my home and tell my parents that, Mom, Dad, I am not made for engineering, I want to drop out. Okay, so I did make that call. It was distressing for me, but I did make that call. Parents came to meet immediately. They were like, what are you doing? What will, this say, that say? What will relatives say? Obviously, they were worried about me. Suddenly this kid he has lost his mind. All right. So, somehow they managed to, tell me that, okay, we understand that engineering is not made for you. Fortunately, in my case, my parents made me understand that you go ahead with your degree and do whatever the hell you want to do in your life. We will not interfere, but do not drop this in between because you have started something, let's end it. We will not interfere with what your academics are till your fourth year. Please go ahead and enjoy yourself. And that is what got me out of that depression that I was in because of engineering. And that is how I came to know that a lot of students like me must be suffering from this. A lot of students like me must be going through this but would not be getting any support from anyone else. Not necessarily in every case they're going to get support, right? And that translates into a lot of depression, and maybe they get into their work, they get depressed over there and they're helpless throughout their life. So in my third year, because I had been given the freedom to do whatever I want to do, I started participating in a lot of activities in my college. And that sort of gave me an exposure because I interacted with people, I spoke to sponsors, I did all sorts of things for my college, and I even happened to become a general secretary in my college, and that is where my life, started to take a U-turn. There and then I decided that, oh my God, this is how you can influence the world. You can actually make a change over here. It's not always about the money, but it's about the impact that you want to create. And that is how my entrepreneurial journey started. In my third year itself, I had decided that I am going to skip my placements. In our college, historically, the placements have been very good, and, sometimes it's mouth-watering. So many had told my parents that let him do his fourth year. When he gets the offer in the hand, he himself will accept it. You don't worry about his entrepreneurial, adventure that he's talking about. But fortunately, I stuck to my goals, and, I started my own firm, and today where I'm standing and I've been invited for this event is all because of the, decisions that I took. Now, I come from an edtech sector. So as it has been mentioned that we are mentoring more than 1 lakh students every year. Apart from that, we are counseling so many students. Now we talk about climate change, this change, what we can do, how we can bring about this corrections and remedies to slow down that process and carbon emission and everything. But we are not getting to the root of the problem, and the root of the problem is the education system. Because India is a country rich in youth. Right, our demography represents youth on a large scale, and we are lucky enough to have that. Now, when I say youth, youth is taking education, no matter at what age. We are trying to educate them. But, our education system, of what I have seen till now, is made up of, just bookish curriculum, which does not actually, make them go for the stuff that they should be doing in order to make larger scale impact. Now let's suppose we are talking about climate change over here. Global warming is there since 7th standard, I think so, in your textbooks. How many kids are making, an impact to, make a, some sort of a change for that global warming, or take any steps? Like Greta Thunberg is making some statements, she is bringing about a change, she is trying to inspire people, encourage people to do that, right? So why is that not happening on a large scale, whereas we have got a, country of 1.5 billion people and majority of it is the youth? That is because of the flaws that are there in our curriculum, which we need to address. Now these flaws, I'm not blaming any education system in the sense, education system in its place is as it is, but there must be some additions. There should be skill-based education. The students should be taken outside their classes. They should be shown the nature. They should be shown how agriculture is done. They should be shown how you can grow fruits, how you can grow vegetables, how financial, management works. This should be taught at a very young age to kids. We are not teaching stock market education to kids. We are not teaching health management to kids. Health management is another, skill, another sector that should be, taken up in school curriculum, right from 4th standard or 5th standard, wherein we are teaching kids what is good for their health and what is not good for their health, because let's accept it. A lot of our kids are going for junk food, and they're going for all these, cold drinks and soft drinks, which is not good for their health. Energy drink, again, they get, they see the advertisement and they immediately get hooked onto it. Can we control it? No. But how can we control it? We can, imbibe these things into the education system. All these values should be brought in. And bookish curriculum should be reduced proportionately, so that is there. But again, these things are also given a proportionate weightage. But, I'll tell you from my experience, I'm into education sector. When I try to imbibe all these things in my own edtech, a lot of parents come and tell me, sir, we just want a kid to study for 8 hours and 10 hours. We don't want him to do any project. We don't want him to be involved in any communication skills. We don't want him to learn stock market right now. We right now want him to just pass his 12th standard with 85%. That's it. We don't want anything else. We just want that 85, that magical number on the report card. My question to them is like, yeah, he will get 85. What after that? Maybe he'll get into an IIT. What after that? Maybe he'll get into the best colleges in the country, he'll get into an IIM. What after that? When you get into the IITs and NITs and IIMs, you need to have skills to interact with people. You need to have those communication skills that, help your networking skills. Because presentation is something that is, you cannot learn presentation from someone else. It is something that you can learn from yourself. And that is a slow process to, develop in yourself. I myself was not really a good communicator for most of my age, most of my child age. But I, being a very avid cricket fan, started watching commentary in English, and that has helped me endlessly. Now, a lot of parents might stop their children from watching cricket. Doesn't necessarily mean that watching cricket is going to ruin his, academic career. Maybe its interest is there, but he will also, do good in that particular sector. So we ourselves, as educators, as parents, take a, consciousness about this fact that we need to give some sort of freedom to our children. And we need to help them actually achieve skills that are going to help them in the long term, because we are right now having a paradigm shift, and this tectonic shift that is happening right now is going to affect. According to a survey that I had attended, by 2030, at least 50 to 55% of the jobs that are there in engineering are going to vanish. Now, most of the parents after 11th and 12th standard, either medical or this or that, they are going. What after that? If you do not have skills in you, if you do not have entrepreneurial skills in you, will you be able to survive or shift or do anything else? Very difficult. So this is something that we need to address. And if our youth is going to be sustainable themselves, then we can focus on the climate. Then we can, bring about a change in the, our ecosystem, or preserve it, or think about, doing something for it. Because in the end, no matter how much we talk about climate change and all the steps that we are going to take over here, first we think about ourselves, then we think about our family, and then we think about something outside. It's a fact. So if the person himself is not going to, able to sustain himself in future, what is he going to, what he is going to contribute in climate and all these major changes that we are talking about over here. So this is a point that I have, particularly taken up in my EdTech, which is a USP. Not a while ago, on a news channel, I was being asked that there are so many edtechs in the country, what is so different about you? So I said, there's nothing different about me, the curriculum is the same, the academics are also the same. The only difference that I bring into the system is I am not just going to teach your child the academics, I am going to make sure that your child, when he comes out of that institute or this program, he sparkles out like a, different personality. He will speak well, he will know the values, he'll know the morals, he'll know the culture, and he'll know everything that will, help him in the long run, and not only in the short run, which is just your academics and your entrance exams. So, talking about stress, anxiety, depression, I happen to be, teaching students for JEE, NEET, and the most number of suicides that are happening in India are for NEET exam, NEET UG, which is a premier, entrance exam for medical aspirants. And as a matter of fact, there have been unlimited attempts that have been kept by government for NEET exam. Now what happens is, students keep on giving the exam for 4th and 5th and 6th time. And if in case they are not able to crack it in the 6th go, the amount of depression that comes on that child because the expenses that the parents have done, the amount of time that has gone in that, the energy that has been gone in that, the shame and the embarrassment that they're going to feel amongst the peers is incomparable. And it's very easy to say, do not commit suicide, it's, something that you can do something else with your life, but the depression does not let you think beyond that. When a person is in depression, we really cannot, be in that person's shoes, and we can judge that person that he took a wrong step. So before all these things come, we have to bring those changes amongst the minds of the children, and as well as the parents and the educators as well, to bring, a tectonic shift in the thinking that, let's suppose if you are not able to crack the exams, it's fine. You'll do something else in your life. Don't be a person who is just, I have a lot of students who just, want to go in a good job, have a good, cabin, an AC cabin, and just work out of there. No. When I used to do survey, I've done a survey for a vada pav stall also, I've done a survey for a chai stall also, I've done survey for big companies also. These people, we judge them because the community judges them because they are wearing what? Normal, clothes and selling vada pavs. What do we expect? Will they put on a suit and they'll sell vada pav and then you'll, start respecting them? We have to respect every person who takes risks, a person who is ready to go into the, ecosystem, challenge the status quo and do something different. And that is what I want my students to be. When my student is coming out of the institute, I want him to know what is entrepreneurship. And again, from an entrepreneur's point of view, I will again say that entrepreneurs are also facing a lot of mental stress these days. And why this is happening is because first day of your startup, you want to raise funds. Once you raise funds, you want to burn the cash. Once you burn the cash, your revenue comes, your profits start going down. Your competitors start doing good. Media articles come out and all the negative vibes come up. And the management and the directors and everything, are behind the CEO and the CFO and the CMO and all the CXOs. But why is this happening? Because you have unnecessarily raised fund when it was not the time to do so. So my, ideology behind startups is very different. You start a startup with your own money, whatever that might be. You take the initial first 100 customers to be minimum. Go ahead. At least try to find out whether the pilot is working or not, and then maybe think of scaling it up. But first then say, if you are thinking about Ferraris and Mercedes, it's not going to work in your favor. It's actually going to spiral down, and that is what the, industry is witnessing right now. If you see Bangalore people, the startup people are just waiting for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I just don't need to mention why Koramangala is a, hot place for them. So, that should not be the culture. So yeah, and as entrepreneurs and as students, I believe in this ideology that you live your everyday like it's your last day. And let's suppose, I believe in this ideology that let's suppose if tomorrow is my last day, will I have any regrets? Am I contented with the, quality of life that I've lived in? And I would definitely say I'm contented. There are many things that I want to achieve in my life, but okay, let's not be greedy. So if you want to be really be content with your life, start living it to the fullest. Start making the full of your life. Maybe take a vacation once in a while. Not that bad. Okay, again, vacations are, said to be like something that vents off your energy. Whatever stress that is there, whatever, this is not only vacation, but whatever works for you, listening to music, eating good food, whatever, going to a village, spending some peaceful time, whatever works in your favor. As entrepreneurs, start doing that. As students, also start doing that. The culture that has come into the system is, encouraging that an entrepreneur has to work 9 to 9, he has to take care of this, he has to work 24 hours. Not true. I, as an entrepreneur, to be very honest, work for 5 hours a day. I take 2 vacations a month, and I take 1 international vacations an year, and that is something that I promised myself a long back. As a child, I wanted to become a cricketer for half of my childhood. I wanted to become an astronaut for the other half. Now I play professional cricket at academy level. I can't become a, Indian team player right now, to be very honest, given my age and, my profession. But I still, try to complete my dream by playing cricket whenever I'm free. And the craziest thing of all, for 2027, I have set a target and I've already registered on Virgin Atlantic to take a commercial space flight. I don't know whether it will be happening or not, but, again, dreams. Dreams is something that come true if you can conceive it in your mind. So talking about, climate change and mental health, first we need to, rewire our brain, manifest things, be positive about everything. Let's not be negative over here. We are ending this session over here. Let's be positive that we will be able to overcome the climate change and the issues that we are facing. We will be able to overcome the mental health issues that are coming. We as a country will thrive. We as a country, our youth will thrive. And we will do good in the future. And I'm sure we are going to attract positive things in future, upcoming future for India. I would like to end my, speech with a quote, because I'm a diehard fan of Virat Kohli. He says, if you can be positive in a negative situation, you will win and you will only win. Thank you. Shubham, Mahajan.